Alright, I apologise for there being no vlog opening section this week, but I was straight up an idiot and was listening to YouTube in the background while recording and just forgot to turn it off. So in the light of not having you listen to my weird-ass playlists, you're just going to have to get a voiceover this month. Do not worry, you'll have to see my face again next month. So sorry about that. Right, okay, so this week we're going to try art journaling. I've watched several channels do art journaling before on YouTube. Honestly, it's one of my favourite chill time things to watch, but I'd never actually tried it before. So, I've gone and spent way more money than is suggested or reasonable on supplies. If you couldn't tell from the drawers that you saw earlier, please don't judge me, I will use these things, I promise. But I actually had a lot of fun. It was one of the first collage type things I've done since leaving school, actually, since not even university, leaving high school, you know, so forget sixth form or college. Generally speaking, the kind of art I prefer to do is very controlled, very figure-based, and I've not worked with just shapes or colours or textures long time, or I don't think I've ever actually treated it as a subject to study in its own right, so aside from being fun, it was also educational, which, you know, what more can you need from your new little series going on YouTube here? I pulled up a bunch of stuff. I didn't spend money on paper bags. I actually had a lot of scrap material lying around, so please don't judge my money spending habits. And it was fun to arrange them, but in all honesty, by the time that I got to the actual, you know, trying to stick things down and all that kind of thing, I'd forgotten where everything was supposed to go. Maybe I should have used some pencil outlines or something, I don't know. But I'm pretty pleased with where all the bits of paper ended up. It gave me quite a varied and interesting canvas to use later on. But before sticking it all down, I went around the entire thing with distress ink, just to create a nice little border so there'd be no white edges, because if you want to distress something up, and I was going for quite a steampunk look, I needed, I think I used vintage photo and black soot here, just to give it a nice little weathered vibe. I don't have any big sponges, so, you know, if it does seem a little bit bitty or cloudy. But honestly, that's fine. That's a lesson for future reference, and I can move that forward and maybe invest in some larger sponges later. I did have one teensy-weensy tiny, just infinitesimal, like, didn't even really need to, you know, mention this, but, yeah. Yep, I had a bona fide moment where I was convinced some glue somehow existed somewhere in the depths of my, you know, bedroom and that, but no, I didn't. That was a fun thing to discover halfway through the project. But anyway, despite that slight mishap, I found some wide double-sided tape which worked just as well and stuck everything down in the way that I wanted it. And I was able to scoochie on with the project. I had a bunch of stamps and stencils that I wanted to use to add some effects. In retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have left that white space in the middle of the counter because it kind of distracted from the whole thing, but I thought I was going to put something in it. I didn't. Lesson learned. This was all just for fun anyway. But the stenciling was actually something really, really enjoyable. I think I went through a bit of an art snob phase, but honestly, I thought using stencils lessened it because anyone could use a stencil, but I am officially over that. This was actually really fun. I'm looking forward to looking and potentially spending more money, especially on washi tape, stamps, insect stamps, and stickers. Those were the most fun part of the project for me. I had tons of fun here. God knows why, but I attempted some handwriting on there, which I don't know what possessed me. My handwriting is legit. It's chicken scratch. It's chicken scratch in very, very nice handmade Italian ink, which I bought on holiday in Rome a couple of years ago. God, there was ever a reason I needed to go back to Rome. It's to visit that shop again, because dear Lord, I could have spent hours in there. Well, an aesthetic isn't what I'd call it, but it was certainly an attempt. Honestly, I just kind of lost track and maybe overworked it a tiny bit. But I'd be more than willing to try this again, maybe go for a different theme than steampunk, maybe something a bit more pretty, maybe something a hell of a lot darker. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please tell me what you'd have done different, what stamps you think I used, what I should have done with that giant white bit in the middle. And I will see you all next month with another local fool tries. Please tell me what you'd like to see. If not, I'll just guarantee I'll whip something up on my own, but I'd like to have your input in that regard. Anyway, goodbye and thank you.